the particular ballot paper up here for people to see. And the commentary I would give here is that it was a referendum for the entire United Kingdom, as you can see. I mean, if I place my axe here in the Leave the European Union, and 17.4 plus million other people also done exactly the same, and we won the referendum, so to speak. Is it ever right? Now, this is a very serious question, and I'd like you to answer this really, carefully for me. But is it ever acceptable from an academic's point of view, from a professor of politics point of view, that democracy would be split up in the way that it was split up, and having, say, for example, there's 4 constituent parts, 3 constituent parts are treated differently than 1 constituent part? Why is that ever acceptable, John?
It's a great question, John, and it's a difficult one. It's a complex one to answer, because I get the premise of your question, and in many ways, I know where you're going with it, and I agree to a considerable extent. You asked remain or leave, and it didn't say but one part of the UK will leave on different terms to the rest of the UK. And that's where I think that the Loyalists protested, and the DUP and UUP are correct in posing departure on different terms from the rest of the UK. We also live in a world of pragmatism. So you can argue that the EU played that border for all it was worth, the north-south border. And I would have, again, some sympathy with that argument. But we knew that was coming. I would agree that the signs are not good early on. There's been shortages in supermarkets. There's been, firms unaware of what they've got to do. And if you were a Great Britain, invest in Great Britain, why would you be particularly interested in trading in Northern Ireland, given you've got this extra paperwork to complete? So I understand the annoyance of unionists.
Well, good evening. I'm just really on to give people an update on what it is that we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. And we've got some very good guests that have agreed to come on Restore Live and to really lay out bare how things are happening and where it is that we go from here. So this Monday evening, and this will particularly interest the people in Northern Ireland, we have the Rev Marvin Gibson coming on with us. And he's agreed to come on and to have an open and honest debate about where it is that we as British Unionists find ourselves today, how it is that Northern Ireland finds themselves separated from the rest of the United Kingdom in terms of we have an economic border in the North Channel, otherwise known as the Irish Sea. And where is it that we as Unionists go from here? And as you'll know, and as you'll have noted, that we've been talking to various people right across the United Kingdom. And one man, just the other evening, he had asked, how it is that people across the United Kingdom can help us, the people of Northern Ireland. And, I believe that it's just about sticking together. It's about standing together. It's about ensuring that the bonds that we've built up over the centuries, they are never broken. They're built upon, because we might be technically separated from the rest of the United Kingdom, but that wasn't the people's fault. That was the people who are in power. That was the establishment's fault. And some would say that was the inadequacies of our own leaders who didn't actually fight to ensure that this wasn't going to be, or it wasn't going to be acceptable that we would find ourselves separated from the rest of the United Kingdom. So there's one thing that's happening on Monday. It's the Rev Marvin Gibson at 8 o'clock on Monday evening, and the live chat can come along and they can pose some questions to Marvin, and Marvin's an open and honest guy, and he answers things in a way that is pretty straightforward. So here we have it at Restore Live, that we're going to really start asking the questions as to where it is that we go from here in the future. And another man that I've been talking to over the past few months, and again I had some discussions with him today, and this is a big one for us. a man called Kenny Donaldson, who is linked to a victims group in Fermanagh. And Kenny and his team at SAFE, they fight tirelessly for victims, to have victims recognised and to ensure that people they don't make victims, the victims of the Troubles, the victims of the terrorists. They don't make those people second-class citizens in their own land and being subjected to a different type of law that everyone else is. And we're living in a day whenever telling the truth can be a revolutionary act. And that was a quote from Orwell, where Orwell says that in times of universal deceit, telling the truth will be a revolutionary act. Well, you know something? Here at Restore, we'll continue to put out the truth. We'll continue to talk to the people who are being victimized, re-traumatized by the people, by the terrorists who made them victims in the first place. And as I say, Kenny has agreed to come on with us, not the week after next. I think it's the 26th of January, and we're going to be doing a show which is focused on, which focuses on victims of the Troubles, and how that those victims are they're not being treated right by the powers that be. And what are we as a people? What are we, or who are we as a nation? Who are we as the United Kingdom? Who is the British establishment? If they, on one hand, if they elevate terrorists into power, and if they give those terrorists immunity from prosecution, and yet there's no chance, seemingly, of those victims ever getting justice. And that's the truth. So I'm looking forward to talking to Kenny Donaldson. That would be the week after next, and he's going to bring on some victims of the Troubles who will, in an open and honest way, tell the people at Restore how things are, and how that victims are not being treated fairly. And again, I'd like to just use this. This is just a quick live, and it's really about explaining what it is that we're going to be doing. So I would like to ask those that are associated with Restore, those people that come along every week to support us, to watch what it is that we do, who gives us support in the background, who researches for us, who watches our live streams, who, all those people that have supported us to date. I would like to ask those people, whenever we begin to put out the advertisements for these two good shows, one on Monday evening with the Rev Marvin Gibson, the leader of the Orange Order here in Northern Ireland, and again the following week with Kenny Donaldson and some victims. I would like to ask, whenever we put out those advertisements, if you can share them far and wide, and if you can ask people to come and join with their platforms, in order that we can really get the message out and appeal to as many people as humanly possible. We're living in a day when we do need to stick together, because if we don't, we'll all be treated in a harsh way. But there's security in numbers, so again, I would appeal to people to appeal to others to come and to join with us, and to stick with us, and to help promote what it is that we do. On another note, what we're going to do is we're going to get serious about doing this. We're attracting the right guests. I mean, anybody that we're asking to come and join with us and have a discussion, there's no one that is denying us. There's no one that is saying no. And what we'll do is we'll build on the successes that we've already had by using the discussions that we have to cut little video clips, and by sending out to other people to ask those people to come and to join us. And I hope that it doesn't stop. I hope that what it does is that we can keep pushing on, and we can go to the next guest and another guest and another guest, and some of the people that we have on our sites. We're not talking about stopping within our own community. We're talking about really delving into other communities, going beyond and going to places where others haven't went before. And I have my sights on, say for example, and I do fall off your seat when I say this, but there's a reason and why I would want to do this here. But I have my sights on talking to people in the Irish Parliament and bringing them on our live, and asking those people, and really pointing out, is that, is it right that they are facilitating people in Northern Ireland being treated as second-class citizens? Is it right that people, terrorists, the IRA I'm speaking about specifically, are traumatizing and re-traumatizing victims, using and under the cover of the Irish flag? And, is it right that that would happen? And is there anything that the Irish government can do in order to put a stop to this? So those are the type of places that we want to go over the coming weeks and the coming months. And, I've learned one thing in life, is that if you don't ask, you don't get. And I will continue to ask for it on behalf of the people of Northern Ireland, and we'll continue to seek answers, because whenever you talk to people, and whenever you talk to people in a reasonable way, well, I've found in the past is that sometimes the answers you get are not what you expected, but they can often be to the benefit of everyone. So that's what we're going to be doing within the next few weeks. And again, I'll just recap by saying Marvin Gibson, Monday evening at 8 o'clock. And the following week, Kenny Donaldson, some victims of the Northern Ireland Troubles. And we're going to take Restore down a line in a way that we will continue to talk to victims of the Troubles. And that's whether those victims have been from the security forces, whether they have been civilian victims, or whether they have been from England, from Scotland, from Wales, or Northern Ireland, or even, and this is a hint of where we will be going in the very, very near future, even say, for example, that if there were victims of the IRA in Southern Ireland. Now, there's a hint for you, and we hope to be announcing something very, very soon. So, look, I would like to thank the people that has came along to join us for this little promotional clip. And I do look forward to the very near future, in where that we can together we can highlight things, we can show things for exactly what they are, and together we can begin a fight back to ensure that the British Unionists right across the United Kingdom are not made second-class citizens in their own land. So once again, thank you for joining us. And one more appeal is that, if you think that you could add to what it is that we do, maybe that you can speak yourself. Maybe you don't want to go straight into a live scenario. Maybe you would like for us to host something in the background, where we can literally show you what you're capable of by maybe coming on a stream, and we can maybe give some hints or tips for making things better. And maybe what we can do is we can raise up a generation of people from within the United Kingdom that can be the voice of their communities, and can come and do things like this. Sorry about that. That's my dinner ready, and I didn't mean that to go as we were on speaking here. But look, and also if you've any, if you've got IT capabilities, if you're capable of building websites, if you're capable of doing social media content, or if you're capable of helping with promotional stuff, I'm appealing to anybody, because something is that together we are strong, and together we can make Restore a platform that reaches out, that can get answers, that can seek answers, that can get clarification on certain issues. And something, if we can bring as many people to this platform as humanly possible, it won't be long before the politicians that are not giving us answers right now, it won't be long before they want to come along and give the answers that we need. So we have the DUP also in our sights, and let's see how that plays out. But anyway, for now, we're doing okay when we're getting people like Marvin Gibson, when we're getting people like Kenny Donaldson, when we're going to be talking to victims, and in the very, very near future, we hope to have some very important announcements to the people that follows this platform. So thank you for coming along to join us this cold and wet Saturday evening, and once again, thank you. So what we're going to do is that we're going to play you out with our theme tune. And our theme tune is about extending our hands across the water and ensuring that the bonds that we have and the ties that we have can never be broken. And there's many people right throughout the United Kingdom that won't let those bonds be broken. So we're playing you out this evening with Hands Across the Water. And thanks very much for coming to join us and to listen to our little promotional. Thank you.
Just across the Irish Sea stirs a heart of loyalty, raising honor and indignity, drives a will to keep us British free. Not alone are we on this journey, we're in a land just across the sea. It's a hand that reaches out of friendship, and a bond that's lasted centuries. And its hands across the water, reaching out for you and me, for Queen Ulster and for Scotland, help to keep our loyal people free. Let the cry be no surrender, let no one doubt our loyalty. Reaching out to the brave red hand of Ulster is the hand across the sea. Across the water, reaching out for you and me, for Queen and Ulster and for Scotland, help to keep our loyal people free. Let the cry be no surrender, let no one doubt our loyalty. Reaching out to the brave red hand of Ulster is a hand across the sea. Just across the Irish Sea stirs a heart of loyalty, raising honor and dignity, drive the will to keep us British free. Not alone, we on this journey, or in a land just across the sea. It's a hand that reaches out in friendship, it's the hand across the sea, it's the hand across the sea.